Good evening, folks. We are live once again. Let's get everything switched over and loaded up, and we will jump into more Dyson Sphere program. Everything paused for the moment. Hey, what's up, Capri Sun? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Thursday. And I see you've got to drop a beat, start us off, which is good because I haven't turned on the BGM yet. Let's go ahead and kick things off with some sort of beat. Let's get the headphones. And we'll see what we come up with. Let's get it. All right, headphones are off. Let us turn on the music. Oh, I should probably turn on actual desktop audio. There we go. Let me know if I need to adjust the music. I've got it going at about 50% for normal. It should just be in the background so it's not dead silent. Pre-Sun says, also, how do you do that thing you do to start beatboxing? Is that like your signature? I had to turn my headphones down a little bit so I could hear. In the meantime, let's let the game just run, and I'll just kind of keep an eye and make sure nothing happens. Let's see. Are you talking about the like really quick intro drags sound I do at the beginning of... Actually, maybe I should pause the BGM. That way it's audible. Are you talking about the thing that I do at the start of most of my freestyles? It sounds like... I'd probably practice that more. It feels like it's a little not as sharp as it used to be. That is something that's called a variation of an inward drag. I call it a sucker punch drag. So let me try and explain. I've talked about it before, like on the jam streams, but it's been kind of a while. So there's this type of sound called a sucker punch in beatboxing, and it's fairly easy to do. You could probably do it right now if you just practice the technique. And the sucker punch is where you inhale a little bit through your mouth, and you take your tongue and you seal it to the roof of your mouth to block your airway, and you do it kind of abruptly. And so, like, if you just do it without any sort of pressure, it's just like putting your tongue to the top of your mouth. But if you do it with a bit of force as you breathe in, think of it like you're saying hut. Like the sound hut, but inwards. So it's like... And you kind of breathe in and let the inward force help seal your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and it creates this sort of dull suction sound. And when you get that seal really fast and consistently, you get the almost sounds kind of like a record kind of like scratch-ish. But the sucker punch is the sound that you hear there, and so the drag pattern, and I haven't had to explain this in a while, so it's the sucker punch plus which is just similar motion, but you are inhaling and using your tongue to block your airway a bit and creating kind of a hissing noise. So it's kind of like saying hip, and the drag pattern itself combines the sucker punch with that back to back, and so you're going maybe more like saying sip or thip, like with the th inwards combined with the sucker punch. It's a little bit of a tough technique to describe without going the whole concept of inward drags, but it's just two sounds with like a transitional sound between normally, because if you're doing back to back, it would be, but it's a triplet pattern that I'm doing for the opening, which sounds like, so I guess it's 3 or 4 sounds depending on the actual pattern itself, but doing that in a chain, it's kind of like a technicality pattern. That's how you're getting them. I should probably practice it a little bit more, because I only do it whenever I'm opening a freestyle, and that's the only time I ever do that sound now. But that's a good question, because I do it all the time, and not a lot of people ask about it. But we should probably devote some time into talking about inward drags again. It relates to breathing and air control. So don't worry about asking questions. That is perfectly fine. And it's the Iconic is here. What's up? What's up, Iconic? I got your hydrate. Ooh, and a stretch. Oh. All right. Well, it's been a while. I have not done any tinkering with our save file since the last time. But we spent some time optimizing and upgrading a lot of the bus. The big deal last time was getting level 2 belts and level 2 sorters. The green belts and the green sorters down here at the arrows. Basically doubling our speed of trafficking things across the bus and moving them from point A to point B. Soon, we'll be getting to upgrading the assemblers, these things that are building everything. Level 2 assemblers are a pretty big deal. Freesun says, just did some stretches for my workout. Since the doc said my sprain would be healed by now, I started with a challenge, a 5-minute plank challenge. It was not fun, but worth it. That's good core exercise. Always beneficial. Alright, let's take a look at our layout. I think I know what the focus of a lot of today is going to be, and it's going to be interesting. We need to begin production on fluids, I believe. We've done a bit already, but we're going to need some additional resources that are going to basically move into the next major phase of construction and building up the tech tree, and it's going to involve a whole bunch of stuff that we have not looked at a ton yet. I think I talked about it in the last save file when we were pre-update. So let's see. Let me figure out where we're going to do this. What we've got an oil source here, which is currently powering or supplying the resource lines here, which is feeding into our red research. All the stuff here, which is slowly filling up these storage facilities, these storage tanks. This is refined oil, which is something we specifically need for plastic and fluid processing, plastics, fluid, and that whole tech tree. I'll kind of explain what all that looks like when I figure out how we're going to set everything up. Let's look at the map.
In the planet view,
Yeah. Oh, there's another one right here. The oil spots have an output rate and are found throughout the map. As far as I can tell, they don't run out, but they do have sort of a max capacity they can supply. So let's take a look at our research first. We need to start moving through the tech tree. We're definitely going to need fractionation for deuterium. This one is also pretty important. Polymer chemical engineering. These are all things that are part of the plastics slash things related to the oil processing. This whole line kind of right in here. So we're going to grab this. Refinement. This is a way to get more refined oil. We don't need that right at the moment. We are going to need this. Eventually, we're going to have to set up proliferation as well, which is not something I talked about up till now, but we're not quite there yet. Oh, we can actually unlock planetary logistics. Okay. How is our red science supply looking? Oh, we got a lot. Okay. It's been going for a bit. So we're going to grab... Let's see, these are all done. Yeah, these need yellow, or this one doesn't. This one doesn't either. We'll grab what we can from the mech upgrades. Another thing I learned, and this is something that has popped up in the playthrough so far, but I didn't know how it works, so I didn't talk about it. This metadata stuff over here, occasionally we'll get... Oh, weird, why did my stream thing update? Occasionally we'll get a little notice that says we've obtained metadata from processing the research cubes. I think it's producing or processing. And you can see the different colors up here. It goes from the blue research, red, yellow, purple, green, white. This accumulates across all your save files, which is not something I realized till recently. So some of my files that are a lot further have resulted in this stuff kind of accumulating, and you can use it in other playthroughs. So what it does, which I don't know if I'm going to use right at the moment, but maybe when we get a little further. If we have an unlock that we can actually afford, there's a little button here that says buyout technology. So you could basically use the metadata to fast track research and just cash out upgrades immediately. And I didn't realize that's how it worked. So as your save file progresses and you accumulate more of this stuff just sort of passively, in subsequent playthroughs, it allows you to rush through the game faster. And had I known that, then I might have been able to make some progress in this file more quickly. But it'll tally here, and I think it's across every save file associated with the account. Because this didn't come from this particular save file. This is coming from my other save that's offline. And the one I did prior to the update, which was much further, I think. So that's something we'll keep in mind, especially when we get to green. Having green research right out the gates to be able to fast track upgrades would be nice. But in the meantime, let's try and... Eventually, we're going to need to focus on offensive weaponry, like upgraded drones. Precision drones are kind of cool. I use them a little bit. This leads into the line for things that we'll be able to use to assault the dark fog. So we've got ground-based weaponry, precision drones, attack drones, space-based ones like the Corvette, and then this is the big heavy destroyer, which I've not tested this out yet. I have it unlocked in my other file, but I haven't made them at the moment. Sun says, remember me is better than I remembered it being when I got it on 360. I remembered to report back. Well, that's good. It's good that it's still solid. Okay, this is where we're working towards as well. Solar sails. But I think what we'll do, let's fill in this major body of water, and we're basically going to build out like a huge oil / fluid processing site right here, right below our base, since we want it to be able to feed things like the red research, which uses the refined or hydrogen plus the graphite, which is being produced down here. And let's see. Let's take a look at the map and see where the dark fog is currently hanging out. They are over here on the volcanic planet, hot zone. This is what they're using to accumulate resources. And near the star proper, the hive, you can see the main cluster is slowly growing as they accumulate resources. And all these little dots here, these are attack ships. And as the hive grows and levels up, you'll see more of these sort of populate in the perimeter, basically creating a big armada of ships that we'll have to deal with at some point. Fortunately, in this particular save file, our mining outpost is right next to our starting planet. We popped over there a couple times to grab some resources and bring them by hand over here so we could set them to process. We did it for titanium and silicon. And we'll need to be doing more of that periodically to keep an eye on the main bus lines, and if something runs out, I'll have to grab more. But first, let's go. Kind of want to create some space so I'm not clustered right up against the perimeter of the base, but I don't want to burn all of my soil piles. Eventually, it'll be really easy to get those, but for now, we don't have a ton. But we want to drop refinery here. Set this thing to power. I'll go ahead and fill in this little lake. We don't need it. And now this is going to be our main source for everything we need on the fluid processing side. So let's look at buildings. We have some refineries, which are currently being used to create the things that are powering the red research, which is a refined oil plus hydrogen. Hydrogen is being sent over and being processed by the labs to create the little red cubes. We're going to need chemical plants. We're going to need a lot of chemical plants. And let's see, our starting target is going to be over here. There's a couple things we need to be able to make. We need to be able to make plastics, which go into the organic crystals. And we're also going to need sulfuric acid. This is going to be a pretty precious commodity for a bit until we get the ability to go interstellar and find planets that have sulfuric acid lakes. And then we can just pipe it up and ship it over. Until then, we've got to produce it by hand, and it is not cheap to make. It requires refined oil, stone, ore, and water. So we need to be careful not to completely get rid of all the water. We're going to need to start piping that up too, which we can get from any body of water like this. So let me go see if what we have on the bus and start producing the structures if we haven't already. I don't think we did, no. So let's see. First up, we need refineries over there. For this, we need these little dome chemical plants. So that's steel, stone, glass, circuit boards. And we'll put this one here. Now I gotta remember the placement, since this particular... Yeah, that's right. This bus setup's different from my regular save. Everything's slightly aligned differently, so I have to point everything towards all the sites different than I'm used to, which is due to where we put the bus lines. There's not much we can do about it now. So we need to run stone, then circuit boards. Is glass up here? Oh, where's glass? Up there. And fortunately, because we have the faster belts, things will be sent down to wherever they're being processed quicker, which was the main thing we accomplished last time. It took a while, but that will help a lot. And we need steel, which is right up above it. So used to the layout of my offline save, which has all of the materials in a different order. So I have to kind of retrain my brain a bit whenever we play on this file. And we'll put a couple of these here.
Congratulations. You've obtained metadata. A reward from Central.
Yeah, here's the
Main
prompt
for
that tells us
uploading
we've
matrices.
accumulated metadata.
Metadata.
But it's weird that it doesn't just tell us how much we got. This is the statistics panel, which I don't think I've pulled up yet. Let's see, there's a tab or something that shows the metadata, I think. Unless it's a different page. Well, here's where it shows the processing of the respective cubes. Presun says, oh nice, I got the metadata, now I can know what files are in my torrent. It's something a lot of kids today wouldn't understand. Let's see. We need to create a production site for pumps. Water pump, specifically for the fluid processing. It's only used for like 2 different things, but it is important. So we could set that up on the bus right next to the chemical plant. So for this one over here, water pump. Oh, this one takes engines. Did I put engines on the bus last time? I did, they're up here. So real quickly, this is something I found out playing through my offline save, again, which is several phases farther than where we are here. These 2 commodities right here, these are what I call electric engines, electric motors. and electromagnetic turbines. These two things have been a resource choke point for me a lot in that other file. And so when we start getting a lot of the logistics stuff in this save file, I might dedicate some time to setting up some sites that are going to produce a lot of these, because they're used for a ton of different materials. The motors are used specifically for the turbines, and the turbines are used for a bunch of things. They're used for particle containers, these little purple cylinder things. They're used for supermagnetic rings, which I don't think we've gotten to quite yet. But yeah, these are going to be a resource choke point if I don't do something about it. Oh, missed a section. Hey, Lava King's here. What's up, Lava King? Welcome to the stream. Hope your Thursday's going well. Are you back from judo? And I did see Lava King redeem a Raku Factu, which, boy, have I been slacking on the facts. Let's see if I even have something on the list. If not, I'm going to have to come up with something very fast. Let's see. In fact, I got one that's fitting for the season. Oh, no. I guess I technically already said that one. It's based on our conversation from yesterday, I just saw a bunch of interesting alcohol-related facts that I've told over the last couple years. Lava King says, ran out of sushi, the Asian market did. Chicken will be feasted. Ah, chicken for dinner, huh? I need to figure my dinner situation out. Fun fact. This isn't the fact for Lava King's Redeem. I gotta think of something unique. But right now, where I live, it is snowing for the first time this season, and I can't really go anywhere unless I want to walk to the supermarket. So I'm going to have to get creative with dinner. I was going to order some, on topic, like Lava King's saying, I was going to order some sushi for dinner, but I don't think delivery's going to be showing up in the middle of snow. So that's going to be something that I deal with a little bit later. But as far as facts go, I need to populate this list with more homeworld facts too, and I don't want to just make up random stuff. I have to do that. Too bad I can't do garden watch. We do that as a factor team every once in a while. My garden is currently under snow, and most of my stuff is dead aside from my rosemary and my green onions. So it's exactly the same last time I mentioned Garden Watch 20. It was 2023 before. Garden Watch 2024 is not going to really be anything till the spring. Let's see. Let me check this one. Okay, here's a fact that it's true fact, and I've mentioned it to some people, and not everyone might know, but I talked a lot about my job in the kitchen and how I did that for like 7 years, worked in a kitchen. But I also worked in a grocery store before that. And I haven't told as many stories about that era, but I did work in a grocery store. So technically, I've had 3 jobs since being on this planet. And that was like 2 years or so. So I'm going to put grocery store for 2 years. I'm not going to tell you which one, because that will definitely dox where I live, but it was like a Safeway, similar to Safeway for folks living in the States. And that is a thankless job. But it built character. Okay, let's see. Oh, we started producing processors. That's right. These things, little orange squares, processors. These are also a major resource choke point. And right now we're not using them for a ton of things, but this is something else that we may have to dedicate specific sites on the planet, because overall real estate wise, we have a lot of unclaimed space on Homeworld here that we're not using. The bus itself doesn't occupy a big section of the planet, and all of the production stuff is kind of clustered around that. In fact, mostly the southern hemisphere, southern sections in general are pretty open. So that's something we'll have to do. We did overhaul the whole power setup before. That was one thing we did on the last stream. We made it a little bit less messy. And as a result, our power is looking okay for now. 190 megawatts. We don't have to immediately worry about power generation, but it will become an issue soon. Okay, so let's hook this one up. We need stone, processor, or circuit boards. And then iron and motors. That's right, yeah. I need to get in the habit of not being able to put one directly at the corner, which is annoying. Normally we'd be able to feed one from the bus directly to the corner and then go accordingly, but just due to the scale and geographical lines, which I promise I'll stop complaining about it, but it's not entirely locationally ideal, but it'll work fine for what we're doing here. Okay, now we need... Yep, here's iron up here. Everything's in order. That's convenient. And then we'll run motors from up here. Like so. Now, water pumps we're not going to need in any massive quantity. 2 stacks in the storage crate here should be fine. That's not engines. These are engines. Whoops. Or, well, these technically are called engines, right? Yeah, we want the electric motors, though, not engines. Whoops. Okay, that's hooked up. We're just going to need to manually pull everything off to feed it down here. We'll throw these in our missile production or something. Oh, whoops. Even our sorter was misplaced. There we go. Now it's gone. So this is producing water pumps. Oh, we're done over here too. Okay, that's good. What else? Anything else we're readily going to need on the bus? We should set up logistics distributors to be produced here too. This is the start of our drone-based things I've been talking about for the greater part of the playthrough here. We won't have... In fact, I'm going to put you little bit further up, since it takes processors. In fact, we'll go down here. I wonder if we can make the little drones themselves, the fidget spinners. Where are you? Here. Okay, yeah, we can produce both of these. It's gonna tap our processor production though, which is a little bit of an issue, or will be soon. Since there's some stacking up here, but the reality is it's just not being produced quickly, and that's primarily because of our silicon shortage, which, of course, that's a problem. This line here from the bus is transporting the, was it high purity silicon? And that, if I were to guess, is trickling because it's empty. Yep. One thing I did last time, I need to remember to do this every once in a while. When we go to the mining outpost, which is on another planet, we have to go and grab all the silicon that's being smelted there and then truck it over here and dump it in the storage. And then manually put it over here in the chests until we have the ability to use drones, which maybe we'll do that first so I can show off automation a little bit more. Because there's nothing that moves it automatically. So when all of the main bus storage here is emptied, then the whole thing slows down. Fortunately, we grabbed a ton. But it's not going to be enough. That's good for now. So yeah, let's take a brief minute while we're waiting for all the water pumps and stuff to be produced. Let's work on drone automation. I could show off how that works. It'll be pretty handy for the short term. So we'll go over here. This will be the start of the line. It's too close. So for this one, let's do the distributors first, and we'll put the fidget spinners right here next to them, so it'll be easy to find. Run power. So these require iron, plasma exciters, which are not being used by a ton at the moment, which is good, and processors. Where did I put exciters? Oh, up here. Right there, and then processors way up here. Oops. All right, now we just have to set everything up to pull here. And a drop-off crate. For these, we'll do 2 stacks as well. The logistics distributor things are not something we're going to go through terribly fast either. So we'll have it pull these for now. And let's see. So the silicone is still being pulled by something. Where is all that coming from? Oh. Oh, balls, that's the wrong spot. I wonder, where's that even going? Uh-oh. I dumped all these in the wrong chest. Whoops. I dumped them. Was that glass? Did I dump them in the glass line? Yep. They are so close to the same color. Apparently I can't see simple shades. Alright, alright. That's not good. Let's cut this off so it doesn't start filling. You... Go there. Fortunately, if we right-click, it'll grab everything of like materials. It doesn't just grab everything indiscriminately. Okay, so that's all gone. Dump that over here. And now I gotta pull all this stuff off the bus. This is probably going towards... Where is this going towards? Oh, good. It didn't fill the whole thing up. Just the beginning. Yeah, right here. And let's see. I think I can pull it all down off this line. This is the prisms, which need glass. So it pulled onto this line immediately. So all of the silicone that was misplaced just funneling down here, which is annoying, but it's fine. There we go. I was wondering why the processors weren't being produced. It's because they weren't being supplied. Brilliant. Okay, we're not accumulating glass terribly quickly. Oh. Hope if I didn't disconnect the line. Reconnect it after I disconnected it. Okay, now we should be good. It was a silly error to make. Let's save our progress. Okay, now with everything feeding down the lines on the bus for silicon, it'll make its way over here. And get pulled up towards this line, and now the microcrystalline components, these are where everything was bottlenecked. Now the processors are being churned out faster. Again, we'll need to make more at some point, but for now that'll serve and be all right. And now we can set up production here, put the fidget spinners on the bus line as well. And let's see, these require almost the same materials. Iron, engines, processors. I'm gonna make the same mistake again. Engines are up here. And third component, yeah, processors. I'm not estimating my belt distance today. So these 3 are set up. Run you over there. Got to drop off. Now these, I'm going to put a couple more. Since each logistics distributor requires 10 of these little bots. These are bots, not drones. And the bots, called fidget spinners by the community, I've learned, basically traffic things from the distributors from a point A and point B. So they go from point A to point B, and they move stuff around so that you don't have to do it by hand. So the first place we're going to do this is our silicon site for the bus, and I can show off what that looks like.
In cruise mode, you can fly the mecha to different planets or
Nope, don't want to leave
planetary
planet.
systems by following the arrows.
Okay. So the way logistics distributors work, and this is, again, the start of the transportation logistics automation stuff. Put a hat, which is what they call these distributor things,
You've built your
on your source destination first. So this is the point A. We open this thing up, and it automatically picks up whatever the storage has in it. Otherwise, you can designate it. So it sees the silicon in here already. And these require power, which I guess we'll leave it about 50 until we need more. But these won't do anything until you put the bots in. So we drop in 10 bots. Now this thing can send things to your mech, which I never really use, but I guess if you want it to send items to your mech whenever they have them in storage, you can do that. But for here, we're going to use this as a distribution point. So by clicking this one, it says provide to other distributors on the logistics network. If you've played Factorio, there is a similar type of tech that works with logistics. Same deal. So now we need to set point B, which we're going to set over here. Our silicon storage on the bus. So we've put a hat here, and we're going to need to run power. Since there's no power, which is fine, because if we do this with anything else, we'll need to power it as well. And same deal, we'll put a few bots here, and I have to remember to do this later. So likewise, the logistics distributor sees what's in here, says, okay, this thing holds silicon. But now we click the toggle here on the distributors to demand. And as long as there's empty space in the crates here, it's going to have the bots fly to and from the source to the destination. And now our little fidget spinners here are going to be taking things from these crates and dropping them over here. So we no longer need to do it by hand. We need to fill these things up by hand for now. But I want to do this for silicon and eventually for titanium, since these are the two spots that we've been flying things back and forth from the other planet. But now this is hands-free. And they'll keep filling stuff up here until either the destination is full or the source is empty. And this is a pretty handy way to move things around from point A to point B until we get planetary logistics, which is much more effective. But for now, we should be able to keep the bus line populated. And then, depending on how long it takes us to upgrade our tech, maybe we can put another one over here and it'll fill from both of these at once. But for now, we'll just put it on the one, because this one's almost empty. And each bot can carry 8 of whatever it's trafficking to and from point A to point B. This is upgradable as well as the speed. So for now, they're grabbing 8 units of high purity silicon and moving them from here to here. Be able to upgrade that, and in late game, these things really zip around pretty quickly, and they can grab, I think, 20 plus units of whatever and then fly them back and forth, which is pretty handy. So at least for now, that's a good temporary solution to silicon. When we start doing more at titanium, we'll have to do the same thing. Titanium will start getting consumed rapidly. And we'll just let these go. These two spots here will continue to manufacture the logistics distributors and the fidget spinners, the hats and spinners, until the storage fills up, and then they'll stop. In the meantime, in fact, I need to go empty my inventory out. I've got a bunch of level 1 stuff in here we can get rid of. But from here, it's time to work on fluid production and processing. What I consider one of the more obnoxious parts of the early game. Once you get past it, it's pretty interesting, but getting all of the oil fluid stuff, I think, is a little bit annoying. But it's the name of the game. Let's see, we can dump the level 1 sorters right here. Yeah. Get rid of you. Get rid of this. Oh, we have a bunch of those engines that we had to pull. Where is our missile turret? Missiles or missile turrets? I put them over here. In fact, we need to stack up more of these right now. So at this point in the game, because we pushed the dark fog back, they're not really going to be attacking us at a planetary level, and they've kind of left to go harvest another planet in our system, so they'll leave us alone for now. But eventually, when our base continues to grow and our power generation gets to a certain threshold, right up here in the upper left, the space hive aggression level is going to start to go up. And when it gets to 100, they're going to start sending squadrons down to our planet to attack us. So we're not out of the woods, but for now, they'll leave us alone. Okay, let's see. We can go over here. Now we start working on fluid production. So I think I'm going to take a different strategy and approach than I did on my offline save. It was kind of all over the place, but in my offline save, I used the cyclical what's it called? X-ray cracking setup in order to basically get hydrogen and the graphite. I found that at least until we get to the later game, we're going to need more of the refined oil in the short term. Eventually, it's going to no longer really be that big of an issue. But for now, I want to run refineries that are going to create the refined oil because we need it for plastics. So to that end, we're going to do a setup here. We'll create overflow, and then these are going to run a pretty decent amount. We'll see how much this yields and whether or not we hit the capacity for this oil site. In the meantime, let's continue to research up the tech tree. Proliferators. Again, we have to devote some time to that eventually. But for now, let's grab this. Planetary logistics. Okay. Oh, I need this for... Yeah. Accumulators. We'll need those later as well. high strength crystal. We're gonna need those for yellow science, I believe. Yep. We'll hold off on our offensive research for the drones. We'll need those eventually as well. But for now, we're okay. We're not being attacked. Okay, so now we can set up refineries. And for these, let's see. The way I did it in my other save, which seemed to work fine, we have input, output, but these spit out two different types of products. So what we're going to have to do is have a spot in our output that's going to split the commodities into two different types of storage, because you can't have multiple types of fluids in one type of storage tank. So for that, we'll use a regular splitter. We'll go here. Which direction do we want to go is the question. Let's go. Give us some more room. Both products created by the refineries we're going to need, but one of them's a little more important right now. The other's going to be more important later. So let's do... Let's do it like this. One site here. One site here. And we're going to create overflow since I'm out of foundation. This is going to be a commodity we'll, like I said, use a little bit later, and we'll need a lot of it. But for now, we just need a place for it to go and sit in storage. So this one, set filter on the splitter. Send the hydrogen here. And then refined oil, that kind of, I'm out. Copper, brown colored oil, that's going to be what we use immediately. So this will make sense once it gets stuff up and running. Yeah, we need power too. So for here, we want plasma refining. This is the one that we can use to create that cyclical pattern. We don't need that at the moment. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to use that setup at all in this playthrough. We'll see. Okay, now we just copy these down, and we'll see how long it takes before we hit the production capacity of the oil source. I think we can put a decent amount of these here. Maybe we can do 10. And you can see the output. The lighter ones are hydrogen. The darker orange ones are refined oil. We got past this phase in the original save, but it's been a while, so I figured I'd explain it for folks who might not have seen the first playthrough of the game prior to the current update. So now we have the refineries sending the two types of fluid over here. All the hydrogen, like I mentioned, is going to go over here, and we connect these. And this will be overflow for now. And while we're here, let's set up the water pumps. We have not used this piece of tech at all since I just started making these. But the water pumps just need to be stuck adjacent to any body of water like so. And they require power, of course. Everything requires power in this game. But once they start production, then they have to be connected to an output storage, just like these other ones. I think you can output them to crates, but the fluid tanks store more. They're a better use of storage than the regular storage crates for non-fluid stuff. So we're going to have this stuff running over here because we're going to start building everything that's going to take all this crap and process it. It's going to go the opposite direction. Try to make it as organized as possible. And so we're going to set a whole bunch of these water pumps up here right along the coast. And we just connect them like this. So far, this is one of the most effective ways I've seen to set them up. We want all the stuff sending a constant line directly to the fluid storage tanks here until they're full. So what we can do is drop a few of these up here. And likewise, since, should have connected that other one on the other side. Well, we'll do it like that. We'll start with 8. That should be okay for now. And save our progress. Research-wise, okay, let's unlock structure matrix. Yellow research. This is our next major target to move towards when it comes to the level of tech research. So we've got blue and red. Next we're going to get yellow, which is going to require 2 types of crystals. That's not necessarily that difficult to make. In fact, we don't need the I was going to say we don't need the fluid processing, but we do need it for the green crystals. So that's what we're going to set up now. Our target is to get the green crystals because they go into the titanium crystal. These are pretty important. Important enough to put on the bus, but we'll see. Kind of out of space now, but we're really close to planetary logistics, so we don't need to rely on the bus for everything at the moment. Well, let's see how we're doing up here. Well, we haven't hit capacity, probably because we're using Mark II belts. So what we could do could run it further down here and add some more refineries because we need that refined oil. And to that end, we're basically going to go keep it kind of organized, make it look pretty. And I think if we run output into this end of the splitter, it's still going to divide stuff up and send it where it needs to go. Let's find out. Yep, we're good. So we're going to mirror this setup. I'll put another several here, and we'll see. As soon as we start running out of oil. What happened? Where'd all my oil go? Sweet. Well, I may have jinxed myself. That was weird. I guess it's kind of hard to see because it's so dark. But looks like we did hit capacity for this because the belt's empty. You can see down here, looking further down the line, these ones aren't getting the raw crude oil. It's what the little black boxes are. So they're not producing anything, which means we need to have another source of oil. Otherwise, this whole site's essentially functioning at minimum efficiency. So there's this one up here. This one's currently going to the science research here in the red cubes. So we don't want to mess around with this one. We could go... Well, that's way up there. Let's see, is there anything closer? There's this one. Oh, it's like equally far away. Might not have a choice. We might have to run a refinery line. Still, we weren't all the way up here. There's two right next to each other. I think I'm gonna have to run a refinery line all the way down here to connect up to this spot to supply the whole line with more oil. In fact, probably connect it to this thing. Okay. Well, it's gonna be a long belt. Maybe we can cut across the diagonal, save some distance. It's one of the things I do like about Dyson Sphere program. It's a very kind of problem-solving oriented game, which folks probably can figure out just by watching me play it, where you have an idea or a plan and then something stops working and you need to figure out a solution, which gives you a lot of creative options to use the tech and things and the research to solve the problem, and I think that's pretty fun. I wouldn't have readily assumed that a game like this would click with me, but considering how much I liked Factorio, which is sort of the predecessor to the factory automation genre. It's not the first one to do it, really, but it's one of the biggest titles to get popular. And Dyson Sphere program takes that, builds on a lot of its ideas, and makes the scope so much bigger, being interplanetary, interstellar, with the stuff you can do, which I think is pretty fun. And it'll take a little bit before we get to the really kind of open-ended parts of the game. But hopefully it'll be a fun ride for all of you watching. I understand not a lot happens, especially now that the Dark Fog has kind of left us alone. But eventually when we get more tech and start expanding out, we're going to have to deal with them. And it's going to be full-scale war. In my offline save, again, that's further than where we're at here, I managed to kick them out of the planetary system completely. And that involved taking squadrons of starfighters with my mech, flying right up to their base and doing like attack runs, Star Wars style, until I dismantled their entire base. And it was not easy. So that'll definitely be cool when we get there, but in the meantime, we just need to keep chipping away at the tech and moving up with our upgrades. Lava King says, what about an attack run? I zoned out. Oh, I was just explaining how, if we take a look at the map, go ahead and save. If we take a look at the map of our planetary system, here's us on Homeworld. This is where we're at now. We have, I don't name this, let's call this home gas. This is a gas giant that we're going to use to farm fire, ice, and hydrogen, 2 really valuable commodities. Our mining outpost over here, again, conveniently close, is where we're currently mining titanium and silicon. We zoom out further, there is Hot Zone, which is currently being colonized by the dark fog. But at the core of the star system, the hive, and you could see it might not be too noticeable compared to earlier when I showed this in the stream, but they are slowly but surely constructing this central hive out in space, and these are all attack ships here. So as we build up our base and our tech, the dark fog is also building up their base and their tech. And at some point, this is what I was saying, Lava King, we're going to need to fight them here at their base, and to do that we'll need space-ready ships that our mech can deploy, and we're basically going in there guns blazing. It's not going to be today, but soon, once we're able to get into space, this is going to be our first major milestone in taking them out and clearing them out of the system. Once we do that, we'll have control of all the planets here. And once we do that, eventually we'll have to look beyond our home star system to get more valuable resources, which, for folks who haven't seen me show this off before, this is the star map. All these little glowing dots are star systems, or planetary systems rather. And all of them we can go out and build up our bases and whatnot. And I see a first time chat from Chewy's Dish. Chewy's Dish says, good luck. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Are you a fellow Dyson Sphere program player? I don't know how many VTubers are playing this game, but it seems like some folks from the community occasionally stop on through. So it's always good to talk to people who know the game well, because they can tell me what I'm doing wrong or how to do things better. Chewy's Dish says too many hours. I hear that. I'm a rookie at this game, and I think I've put like, I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to pull up Steam. I could check. It's probably like 300 something hours. But how are you liking the update? Have you already gotten to the end game and finished all of the stuff since the update came out? Right now, since we've been playing this save file on stream, we're still in what I consider the early game, I think. But I am a bit further in my offline save, which is farther along, but I'm still not at the end game. Haven't started building the Dyson Sphere yet. Chewy's Dish says, the space battle needs work. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good proof of concept, and it's fun to mess around with the way they have it now, but I could foresee them refining a lot with it. Right now, basically, it's your mech and deployed ships, and the way you kind of send them out is a little bit wonky. But it's still kind of fun to go out there with like a full loadout of drones and attack ships and try and dismantle the hive clusters. I'm really interested to see what they do with that concept going forward, since, again, still early on now, but pretty fun. We're playing on normal AI settings, so they're not super aggressive. Maybe once we have control over the entire system and our tech level's pretty high, maybe I'll go to the communicator and I'll ratchet the AI up a little bit and make them a bit more aggressive so we have more interactions. But for now, I'm not complaining about the piece. Okay, let's see. Now it looks like our crude oil production is doing a bit better. So we'll add two more refineries and start actually using this stuff. we need to start running stone down here as well. Okay. So our main objective now is to get plastics. So a couple different things we need. First, let's go at plastics. We need organic crystals in order to get titanium crystals. These two are connected. Another thing we're going to need is graphene, another critical item. But in order to do that, we need sulfuric acid, which is going to be next. So let's do plastics first, then sulfuric acid, then we'll look at graphene. Chewy's Dish says, there's also a few things that are either poorly communicated or not written anywhere, but the game is awesome. Yeah, I've learned most of the stuff that I know in this game from watching content creators play it. I was talking earlier about I think the guy's German, Nilaus, pretty well-known YouTube creator in like the factory automation genre. I've been watching his playthroughs for a bit, and I've learned a lot of just random things I didn't know you could do just from watching him. But yeah, a lot of it's trial and error, and then just picking up stuff as you go. It's part of why I wanted to stream it for my community here. One, because I think it's a cool game to talk about. And 3, being able to kind of talk through the process and explain to people who might be interested in picking up Dyson Sphere program. We'll give them kind of a jump off point, make it a little bit easier. Okay. So let's run, let me double check what I need here. Okay, we need graphite, and we need refined oil. Chewy's Dish says, like, not written anywhere, but you can put a storage crate on top of splitter to fill unfill belt speed for 0 power. Yep, somebody told me about that on my stream a while back. It was before the recent update. But I didn't know you could do that. I learned that from just a random person. The ability to basically stack infinite amounts of materials in hand and then fly them around from point A to point B is something I also learned from watching Nilaus's series. That's how I was able to pull a bunch of stuff from our mining site over here. In fact, I'm going to need to do that since I'm almost out of silicon. I am out of silicon. Well, we can do that right now. Chewy's Dish says, are poorly communicated to be like steel research allows you to put wind turbines on water. Yeah, that was something else that I saw before I even really got to tinkering around. I thought they put it... Yeah, I don't remember if it was like this when the update first went out, but there's a little blurb here in the steel smelting that says, can build wind turbine on water. I don't know how anybody would make the assumption that that tech upgrade lets you do that. But maybe they'll build it into the little AI tooltip thing when the guy pops up. But yeah, that's another one too. Being able to stick wind turbines on water is really nice in the early game. All right, let's go grab more silicon. And we can should be able to grab a ton. 2 full stacks of crates. 3 of the regular crates. All right, let's go take a look. Fortunately, our mining outpost is right here. That's pretty lucky placement. Chewy's Dish says, or if you click a building and press tab, it autofills the needed input. Yeah, I don't use that one as much. I tend to control click stuff, but yeah, I should probably get in the habit of doing that too. One thing that maybe we can set up here is like a massive overflow for our mining site, which I'll do that first. I'll do that first while I'm here, since we're still a ways away from interstellar logistics that we're going to need to be able to shuttle stuff back and forth for the moment. So let's do it like this. We'll do two stacks. Put a hat here, and a hat here, and a hat here. Put fidget spinners here. Oop. This one. Oh, there's a tab click thing. Yeah, that is handy. You run power. That left click to drop stuff manually while you're waiting for construction. That's something else I learned. I didn't know. You want to help out your bots and drop stuff down faster. So we'll have this one provide source, and these ones will request. So now as stuff comes from the production line, it should fly over here. Why is it not doing that? Oh, there we go. Gotta set the desired item. So now, rather than having stuff just fill up and sit, these will fly stuff over here, and this will be our overflow, and we can grab stuff from here in a sec. And we'll do that. We'll do that with titanium as well. The two commodities we need to fly back manually by hand for now. Well, same deal. Have you set supply? You demand titanium. That is not titanium. All right, what did I click wrong? Oh, demand. All right, likewise, now all of our titanium processing, which I think I said last time I was going to upgrade everything to level 2. How many belts do I have? Could do it for here. I guess we do it for this site. And eventually I need to go down here and get all these belts so it's pulling stuff in faster. But we'll do that. We got level 2 sorters and belts last time, so that's why this stuff's not upgraded. Probably gonna wipe out the rest of my belts. Yeah, we got some left. It'll be nice once we have some planetary logistics. We can branch out our mining site beyond just this section of the planet, because this one has a pretty decent amount of copper, not a ton of iron. But it'll be handy to be able to traffic that stuff from this planet to our main one. We'll definitely need it. But let's grab the silicon. So the trick I was talking about before, for folks who might not have seen me do this in the last stream, we can right click and empty out our storage. And grab a whole bunch of these at once. And again, I haven't seen a limit. I've done this several times. And I think the most I grabbed at once, just because I didn't have more space, was like 99,000 of something. So I don't think there's a limit. But if you have to move stuff manually until you get automation and logistics, it is nice to be able to do that. So now we got 24K, and because our home base site is so close, where is it? There it is. That makes doing this even easier. We can just grab stuff, fly it over, and if we need to go back and grab titanium, we could do that too, but I think we're okay for now. So now we can just drop this over here. And the rest we'll just put wherever, and our bots will start flying stuff over to repopulate all the storage here. And this will be good for now. I'll have to go back and do that again, that exact same thing again. But that'll be okay for now. But now we need to get plastic, so we need graphite, which is good that there's a site of coal right here. That's kind of why I chose to build this over here. So we need to smelt a bunch of graphite and then put it on the production line. I guess we can run these two on one smelting line, and then we'll put this one on a second smelting line and have it all pull into storage overflow here, and then it's going to connect down and be right underneath refined right here. That'll be all of our production for graphite. And we'll overflow over here. We're probably not going to see a lot of overflow, but for now, if we do, in case production fills up with everything that we're making, we'll have it store there. Can always use more graphite. And let's see how many we can fit. Like maybe 12? No, maybe more like 9 or 10. It's probably okay for now. And this we're gonna run down here. Save space so that we can add a few more things of storage for the extra hydrogen for now, which we may need to do. And let's see, how many chemical plant thingies can we fit on here before we tap out our production? Right now we can see the refined oils filling up slowly but surely. This is not going to stay here. I think we'll probably burn through all this at once. And I might even need to set up a different production line of these to get more, since several things require this. Sulfuric acid and plastic. But we're doing plastic first. So for this, we need a new type of facility we haven't thrown down yet. This is a chemical plant. This produces several really important ingredients that we're going to need for a bunch of things, including the sulfuric acid I was just mentioning a second ago. So for this, we need to run graphite and refined oil. It'll start spitting out plastics. Worth mentioning, our goal here is the organic crystal because we need it for the titanium crystal. But eventually, when we get to fly to other star systems, we'll be able to get this as a naturally occurring ore on the planet and just mine it. But for now, we don't have any nearby, so we have to produce it on site, which is kind of expensive. But later on, we'll be able to get this stuff, mine it from distant worlds, and use our vessels to fly them across the systems in order to get back to our home base. Okay, let's keep running more of these. Let's see just how many we can fit. Okay, still got room. Let's at least run all the way down here, and then we'll create an overflow for plastics as well. These are gonna go yeah, I might have to run a line directly down below this. We'll have to see. For now, let's keep this moving. We'll go to here. Trying to be orderly. And then we'll run overflow for plastics right here. And now we need more refined oil plus water. Of course, the water, it's not the best placement for that. But the refined oil is a bigger problem because we have our tank here currently feeding refined oil over here, and I think it's just barely being drained at a pretty slow rate, but eventually I think the consumption is going to burn through the overall supplies that we've got. So that's not entirely helpful, but, and again, this wasn't the best way to set this up, but it's fine. We do have a stash of refined oil that's, I think, all the way, yeah, over here. It's not being used for anything. This is all byproducts of our facilities here that are sending hydrogen to the red research. This has just been filling up over the last several hours. And so we could use this as well, but my concern is there's only 6. Yeah, there's only 6 sites here producing this. 6 refineries. That's not really going to be enough. Like, this will take a bit to completely drain, and we probably won't run into a problem initially. But eventually, we're going to run out. So it's kind of like a temporary solution. But we could run a line up here so that it connects with this, and then maybe run the water from the other side. and then we just build along, have everything be in parallel, keep things nice and compact. Need more belts. Hey, Chewy's Dish is back. Welcome back. I was just thinking about our situation with refined oil and how we're gonna solve that. But I need more belts. We can dump out all of our level 1 stuff we got from upgrading. Oh, weird. I guess I had my volume turned down. I didn't see the follow notification. Thanks for following, Chewy's Dish. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Space Bees. Hope you enjoy your stay. But yeah, for the solution on refined oil, I don't have... I should probably research that, huh? Yeah, it's one of the things on the tree. I might as well just grab it over... Where is it? Here. So this is coal, hydrogen, and refined oil to make more refined oil. I haven't really used this. We'll grab it. We're going to need everything upgraded eventually. But right now I have everything being pulled over here. The plastics are going to be used for the organic crystals right here. So I think I'm going to, for now, run this surplus of refined oil, which, where's the end of it? Okay, the end's here. And we're going to use this to make the organic crystals, and then hopefully by the time we get further along, I won't need as much. Yeah, we'll just cut along here. Or you could burn the hydrogen in a generator. You could burn either of these in a generator, yeah. I've found that hydrogen is a bit of a resource choke point. I think I know a little bit more about the game now, and it should be better. Especially since if we look at our placement, the gas giant's right here. My earlier saves when I was learning the game were not near a gas giant, so we got starred for hydrogen a bit more. Here, probably less of an issue. But right now I've got the hydrogen going over here into storage. We'll throw it into logistics at some point so we can use it wherever we need it. But for now, we're going to run a line. What is it? It's water, plastic, refined. And water. I guess I can run it from... I guess I'm running from the other side. We're not doing proliferation yet, so I guess that's not a big deal. It's just not the cleanest way to do it. That's a water storage tank over here. So I'm just gonna run it underneath, and all three of them are here, and we'll use them to craft crystals. And I don't know if I'm gonna put chemical plants all the way down here, but for now we'll just have it all running, again, as compact as possible. What I've told people on stream before they've been watching me play this, for the first planet, my builds tend to be kind of all over the place. There's a lot of spaghetti until I overhauled some certain parts earlier in the playthrough. But once we have advanced tech levels, I usually set stuff up with logistics, and it's a lot more clean. But for now, I'm just trying to get our progression where we can. And then the next planet that we build a main base on will look a lot nicer. Let's see. What else can we upgrade and research while we're doing this? Chewie says, logistics tower will fix spaghetti. Yep, it definitely will. We have it, but we don't have these being produced yet. In fact, we need the pink cylinders. That needs to be probably on the bus. Let's see. Any upgrades we can grab? I'm gonna grab these cheap ones. Oh, we can do this. Nope, that's yellow. Same with that. Same with that. Our next stop, once we get through plastics and whatnot, it's going to be yellow. Yellow research. A lot of the combat stuff I haven't done a lot of upgrading because we forced Dark Fog back for now. But when you eventually go toe-to-toe with them, we'll have to grab all the upgrade stuff for here so that our mech is better equipped. But for now, we're okay. I think we'll have the heat off of us until we get the Dyson Swarm. Once we have the Dyson Swarm up and out, they're going to definitely start attacking more. But, yeah, I can grab this, why not? Most of the other ones here require yellow, which... Oh, if we had a little more of the red metadata, we could have just cached this out, one of these out if we wanted to, but it's fine. We'll save that for when we actually need it. Alright, we'll grab proliferation. That's gonna be something else that I work on coming up soon. But now we have crystals. Where do we want to run this? We'll go right to left. Yeah, we'll run it right to left. So likewise, these are also chemical plant commodities. So we'll run a whole bunch of them along here. I'm going to take these 3 resources and start spitting out the green crystals. And we'll put overflow here. The reason why I do that is because inevitably when production stops, rather than have everything just seize up on the production line, the overflow will stock up some extra here, and then it'll go through it once production begins again. Once I learned that splitter storage trick from someone on stream, I usually do that at the end of all my major production lines, just because inevitably they'll stop, and rather than have it be a waste, the overflow will be something we can use later. Okay. Likewise, we're going to set up our chemical plants. They're not in line, but that's okay. We'll see how many we can fit down here. 2 more? 1 or 2 more? Just shy of 1 more. Okay, so that is getting us crystals. Now we need titanium crystals, which, now that I think about it, we are a ways off from the main bus. I guess we can run a line right down the middle here. For titanium. So I want the stuff to all be kind of produced in the same spot so that I can have the research cubes get output directly here where all of the research site stuff is being done. That's why I did this right here. So to that end, let's see. We need... Yeah, I guess I'm going to run a titanium line. Off the bus, it's going to be just spaghetti everywhere. But we can run it all the way up here. I thought... Oh, no, I guess not. I'm thinking of this one. I'm thinking of diamond. This is something else we're going to have to craft because yellow science is diamond plus titanium crystal. So, changing things up from what I did in my offline save, which is slightly different. I put the titanium crystals right on the bus, but we're also able to build closer. Right now we're far away, so I don't think I'm going to do that this time. Instead, we're going to have the titanium crystals basically get stockpiled here, and then you use them for a couple different things, but for now they're primarily being made for yellow research. And we can probably use this little mini site here, maybe pull another mining device here to make the diamond, because diamond is graphite that's been smelted again, so it's basically like a dual smelting line. Okay, so let's do that. We're not getting tons of the crystals. It's going to be slow, but that's fine. I won't run it all the way down. We'll do a few less. We'll do this and then grab the titanium, which we'll run down this way behind the blue research. So Chewy's dish, since you play this game, I'm always curious, since this playthrough we've been doing on stream here is the first time I've used a bus setup. My first couple playthroughs were kind of more of a mall, like a poorly organized mall, is a little less centralized. But what are your thoughts on using a bus for centralizing materials in this? I like it. It's been a bit of a challenge to sort of build out because I chose a really bad location. Like, to give you an example, I built on the upper half of the planet, and so right at the bottom of the bus, right above where we're at, the geographic lines make it so I can't put anything below it, and I kind of ran out of room on the top. So ideally we want it kind of more at the equator, and then it wouldn't have that problem. But other than that, it's been working pretty well. And yeah, bus is pretty good for centralization till you get logistics. That's what I found too in this playthrough. When we get logistics, folks, you'll be able to see how it sort of changes how you move stuff around. And you don't have to rely on just the bus to have everything. But until then, it's pretty nice. Yeah, that is true. Once you get interstellar ports, decentralize your storage, make it on request. Yeah, you can basically have stuff all over the place producing things and trafficking it using drones to wherever you need it. But until you do that, having things on one production line, at least for all the buildings and devices, is nice. Okay, so this, we need, what is it? Assemblers. We don't have Mark II assemblers yet. Everything's level 1, so we're going to need to do that eventually. But we need graphene in order to get graphene and processors for level 2 assemblers. And that will be one of the next things to do so that we can be producing stuff faster, because right now it's slow. But I kind of want to see if I can get to Interstellar without... No, I'm going to have to get level 2s, or it's going to take forever. Because we can get fire ice from the gas giant that's going to be able to let us make graphene really easily. But until we do that, we're going to have to probably just make it by hand, which requires graphite and sulfuric acid. So I got to start working on sulfuric acid next. Which, again, more refined oil, which you do not have a lot of. other thing that's kind of interesting about the mid game as you go, the tech tree kind of branches out a lot so that you're not really locked into a critical path in a certain order. There's a critical path in order to get certain levels of tech, but you can choose whether to focus straight up and go for the next level of science, which is what we're doing here. You can go for some of the more supplementary materials, which will help you later. It all kind of depends on what the focus is. Okay, so that's done. Now we need diamond, which we should be able to get over here. 2.2 million. Well, that should be doable. We can double up on the mining things here. Oh, that cluster. Not the best clustering, but it's fine. So let's see, we can run one line here that's going to be the first layer of smelting, and then basically just we have to smelt it 3 times. Coal gets smelted into graphite, graphite gets smelted into diamond. So what's the ratio for that? Oh, is it all 1-to-1? Oh no, this is 2-to-1. Okay. Okay. It's all what smelting set up. So maybe we do 966. I wonder if that would work. Let's get all this stuff out here and we'll take a look. Yeah, I think we can have nine graphite smelters. Maybe even 12. Let's do 9 first and see if it slows. I think it's okay. Maybe we'll leave it here for now. Alright, so we'll do this. Rather than loop it around, I know that's kind of a factorial bad habit from what somebody told me. We'll create overflow here and then we'll have everything feed out of this. And it'll be a second line of smelting for the diamond. Okay, I could see we're not getting all the way down to the last 3. We could pull this line, since this is for the red science, but we're pretty much good over here. What's this one being used for? Oh. Nothing. I think I had this hooked up to generators. I never did anything with this line up here. It's just nothing. It's not being used for anything. Okay. I'm going to run this. More spaghetti. Over here. Oh, that's convenient. Then we'll just delete these off. Okay. So now we need to run... This is smelters, right? So same deal. Need to run these here. These are going to go all the way over here. Eventually connect up with the diamonds or titanium crystals. Let's see if we have enough output for 9 of them. These are 1-to-1, right? Yeah, these are 1-to-1. So if we have 6, how many are down here? 6, 6. Yeah, so we can do 6 and 6. These will run over here, and we'll do where everything's going to be going in different directions. Do I want to run this way? Does it matter? Let's keep it all going in the same direction for now. I can always change it later. Eventually, like Chewy was saying, when we get logistics, we can move stuff around. We can always retool the layout of the base and make it less spaghetti. But for now, it should be fine. We don't want to make sure we don't overcrowd this spot here. So this one, I think I'm gonna hook this one up over here for yellow. I'll have yellow going to the sides, and it'll come out over here. So I guess we can do 4. We'll do 4 and 4. Chewy says, say it with me, spaghetti is okay as long as you call it your starter base. That is a factual statement. Like one of our regulars here said, function over form in the beginning. Oh, I guess we're going this direction. Whoops. That's fine. Function over form in the beginning, and then later on we'll go make it pretty. Yeah, we can put this here since we'll just do 4 towers. I think we unlock a higher level of stacking, which I might need to go back and fix. How many labs do I have? Yeah. Let's just top these off.
A matrix
go.
lab. A facility.
Yep. Oh, we can go several high. I didn't realize we unlocked that much levels of stacking. All right, let's get more labs. Real curious to see if this puts a big dent in our power grid, but for now, whoops, let's don't go there. We'll do the same for red. Even though red is a bit slower as far as the resources just because of the hydrogen. What I really should do is pull over one of the lines of hydrogen from that storage we've got near the refined oil and have it feed this just because it's useful now. In fact, how easy is it going to be to run a line? I don't think I can squeeze it through here. I think we'd have to go like right in between this channel and all the way over. Not the cleanest, but I think I'm going to do that. Well, at least mean we can get red cubes faster. But it's all the way over here. Yeah, it's not a ton that we've accumulated either, but it'll be better than nothing. Let's see. We'll run it kind of parallel. I understand that I can do like the diagonal belt thing to save space, but I think it looks kind of ugly when you have diagonal belts going everywhere. I'm not short on belts. I've got a ton of them. That's definitely a Factorio habit. I think you can do diagonal belts in that, but I just never really picked that up. Oh, whatever. Okay, we need to go over here and around. Just weaving over everything. Ugh. And we need to go. Oh, I guess we can go around. Yeah, we're gonna go right underneath the bus. Yeah, I think we can make it. In fact, maybe I should just loft it from here. Yeah. Oh. I gotta move this. Alright, whatever. Okay. Just let everything get connected. I should just build a battle analysis base. I'm out? Oh, okay, never mind. I have to go grab more of those next time I'm over at the bus. It would save me some time and help me construct all this stuff, and I don't have to have my drones do it. Alright, that's fine. So that's going over there. Now we're over here. Let's do... I said 4, right? And we'll stack them up as high as they go. Run power 2 and 2. And then this line is going to pull all the completed science cubes. Fortunately, it's right here. So, I kind of want to save this open space so I can add more to the production line. So maybe we'll do... Let's see if I can do it this way. We want to connect to that one on the far end. Just enough room? Hooray. Alright. Fun but lofted belts. Okay, so now all the output will go all the way down here and we'll start filling up crates over there. Also 2 of these, 1 of these. Produce yellow. And I need more matrix labs. What's this doing to our power? Oof. Okay. Well, we're going to have to deal with that soon. I think that's... Well, it's on the account of all of the chemical facilities and stuff and refiners we added, but yeah, I mentioned before that our grid was going to get tapped out eventually, and that is indeed what's happening. So we'll have to address the power situation yet again. At this point, I have to think about what makes the most sense to do. Maybe we just have to go set up more thermal power plants, because we don't really have a ton that's accumulated for fuel. I'll have to look at that. But okay, this is good progression. Let's go ahead and save. We have yellow science being produced, and it's being shuttled over here. And being fed down here so we can start doing research for that. Chewie says burn your excess oil and hydrogen if needed. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't have any extra oil or hydrogen. Maybe I need to create some more refineries, because I'm going to need more refined oil again. I'm going to need it for sulfuric acid. Right now, the stuff here is pretty much dedicated to this section of the production line. This is water, not hydrogen. Hydrogen's up here. But we don't really have any surplus energy. We have some graphite, but it's mostly being used to go into production here, which is a problem I didn't really have in my offline save. So we'll have to take a look and see what makes the most sense. There's still so much to do. We could take a look at the map, and we could dedicate some sites to churning out hydrogen that we use specifically for fuel. That is another option too. Oh, maybe that's why my grid just took a dive. There's a good section of our thermal that just shut off. Let's go look at that. What's going on up here? Why? Okay, these ones are using some of the old combustible units from before. What's up with... Huh. Missed a belt. That definitely isn't helping. But we have coal running up here to these thermals. And then... Oh no, it's all coal. My bad. It could be that we're spreading this line of coal too thin, which is why these are not getting enough fuel. That's a problem. I had a discussion with someone in the last stream that plays this game, and we were talking about whether it makes more sense to burn coal or graphite, and the discussion was such that graphite is made from smelting coal, and I think the yield isn't necessarily worth the production. Lava King says this feels just like Spore. It's definitely not as like evolution and progress based like Spore. This is definitely more like micro when it comes to working on build setups and efficiency and progressing up like a tech tree. Because we have graphite feeding some of the thermal lines up here. It's kind of split. In fact, this could also be a problem over here. You can see the way it's set up. We have a lot of graphite being funneled over. But it's not reaching all the lines. This isn't the most efficient setup for this, I know. We could take this one here, which is kind of backed up, and run it into this section. It'll supply these, or we can run it over here and supply these. Chewy says grab a little bit of graphite and a little bit of coal. There's efficiency bounces if you look at it. Yeah, it's tricky. If we had like a hydrogen surplus and logistics, we could funnel over like some of our excess hydrogen, just throw that in here, and it would be probably fine. I did that in my other save. But let me see if I can retool this in a way that's going to work better. Because like these, I know one factor is the close proximity. These things are a little further apart than these. So it seems like they burn faster than they can drop them over to the other ones. If anything, it almost makes more sense to have this line be graphite instead of coal. I don't know. Chewy says if you get titanium, make hydrogen fuel rods, power solved. Yeah, I haven't gone that route on my offline file. I bypassed the fuel rods for a while and went straight to the swarm. But that is an option too, but we'd have to prioritize production of hydrogen, which we could do. I have a setup for that, in fact. Maybe we're going to need to do that to help alleviate some of the power problem. But we would need an oil deposit in order to do that. Where's the nearest one? I need to be careful not to get too close to the poles, because we want to be able to drop down the Dyson swarm stuff near the pole. Let's see. There's got to be some oil closer down here. Oh, hello. I didn't even... I guess that's where the planetary base threat warning came from. They're back. And I think they want to pick a fight with me. Alright. I got nothing out there. Guess we're running power poles. Time to kick them off the planet yet again. We're going to get right up in their face, and we're going to basically tower rush them. I'm eventually going to have to move the bus all the way out here anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, they would have started attacking me eventually. Let's grab... Before I do this, be careful not to draw aggro. Before I do this, I'm going to go grab some more of the battlefield analysis bases so they can pick up the scrap from killing the dark fog mobs. It's just free money. I'm going to need to start investing in more drones and stuff too. We just have the prototypes for now, which are functional early on, but they're not that strong. And we'll keep our missiles. Remember where I put the analysis bases on the bus. I'm pretty sure I made them on here. There's the towers. Huh. Did I not put those? Really? That's weird. I could have sworn I put that building on the bus because they're really useful. And you need a lot of them. Huh. Okay. I guess I didn't put the analysis base on here. I should do that. So it would have made sense to put them near. Alright, we'll put them on the end. It's fine. All the way down here. We're going to have to extend the bus out. But we'll do this. Take out the hostiles. And then we'll see where that leaves us. So the analysis base requires... What does it require? Oh, maybe that's why. I don't have microcrystalline components on the bus. That is a problem. Huh. I'm going to double check one more time. Could have sworn I started building those because I've used them all over the place. No? Unless I put them on the top. Maybe that's what I did. Yep, they're up here. Okay. Where are they getting the crystalline components from? Oh, over here. I see. I have it split? I do have it split. Oh, okay. That's going to be an issue later. These things are feeding both the processor line and the battlefield analysis base, but it hits its limit pretty quickly, so yeah, right. We'll just leave this one here for now. We'll find something else to do with that. But now, let's do some combat. So put you not immediately nearby. Drew says I'm getting ready to start oil on my playthrough, but I'm only an hour in. Are you starting on a fresh save? Okay, we need to be a little bit careful. We want to get just in range to draw aggro, and then our missiles are going to take out this base.
You've built a signal tower.
Go further up. Okay, good. You can take this one out before they get too built up and start bugging us. And get a free power site too. Well, that's a nice bonus. So now that relay station will take off, go away for a bit. They'll be back until we get rid of them completely from space. They'll be back for more to hamper our build. Okay. But in the meantime, let's see if we can address the power situation, at least temporarily, and then we will start to wrap up for today, I think. I need to go figure out my dinner situation. I'm going to try this. Let's see if this puts a big damper on our power. Let's see if it starves this line of generators out here. If I divert some of this over here. Yeah, the graphite definitely seems to be easier to chain. So we got all these lit up. That's good. And then that relieves the rest of this line, which I'm just going to delete. Can push coal to these ones here, and it should keep them stocked. Let's see. Just barely. Okay, that's good. This section of the grid's not down, so it's a temporary, again, stopgap. That's better than nothing. But we're going to have to address the power situation because we're not close to Dyson Swarm yet. Chewy's suggestion about hydrogen fuel rods is not. It's not something I'm ruling out at this point, but we'd have to set up a hydrogen production site, which would actually get us more graphite too. So maybe that's the play. Real question is where, though. I could do it over here and then just run stuff all the way across. Because, again, trying to keep directly off the extreme ends of the top of the planet because we're going to need to build stuff there later. Let's set up part of it here, and then we'll see. It can always dismantle it if it doesn't end up working out. True says, what flavor gas giant you have? The one we have here, if you mean by the resources on it, this one's got fire, ice, and hydrogen. Which I don't know if it's part of the initial seed world gen. I don't think I've seen one spawn right next to your home planet with deuterium. That would be nice. But fire ice is pretty useful for graphene, and it yields hydrogen too. So if we set up a graphene site, we can use it for that. Yeah, I think for our purposes, fire ice is going to be helpful in the short term anyway. So, but we can't really take advantage of this until we have orbital collectors, and we're a ways off. They're the device that lets you harvest the resources of the gas giants. So, yeah, we're not quite to that point. But once we're able to do that, our graphene issues are gone. So we may have to set up a temporary site for graphene over here, which again takes graphite and sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is probably the next thing once we deal with power. So let me set up the initial section here, and then before we wrap up, we'll see how it's gonna play out. Because we have, let's see, do I have enough? No, I gotta go grab some more refineries. One sec. This blueprint that I picked up from the Dyson Sphere program blueprint website is pretty handy for creating a cyclical setup for hydrogen and graphite. And I didn't think I was going to use it, but I think we're going to, because we need the setup. I'll show off what that looks like. It's a cool little blueprint. It is a bit intensive on power though, which is what we're trying to solve. Chewy says, I kind of want to play this co-op. I heard there's mods that'll let you play this game co-op. I think it's kind of designed similar to the way it is in Factorio, I imagine. I'm still at the point where I'm learning the base game, but down the road, being able to play it with other people would be cool. The devs have said they're not looking at adding that as a feature yet, which, hence the mods. But yeah, being able to play co-op on a world would be cool. Oh, is the mod stable? That's good to know. Okay. Should have grabbed more belts while I was down there. We need belts and refineries, and we have enough sorters. I think it'll be fine. I have to go and dump a lot of the stuff we picked up from taking out all the mobs. We'll do that later. Oh, there they are. They're doing all over there. Okay, so the blueprint looks like this. I forget who made it, but I got it off of the website that people use to host a lot of these blueprints. Very handy. It's cool that people do that. It's facing the wrong direction. No. So we should be able to fit several of these right in a row. We might have to get a little creative since the geographical lines kind of restrict where we can go. Like, maybe it makes sense to go that way, but for now, let's do a few of these because we don't need a ton of them. So let's see. Input. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Input is this way. Yeah, input's this way. Output, it's fine. And just to make my job easier, we'll put a base down here. We're going to need to construct a lot of stuff en masse, so this will help. Okay, so this setup uses the modified vertical splitters. And the way it works is you feed in crude oil on the bottom. Make sure I'm doing this in the right direction. And we need 2 output spots. The top one is for graphite, the middle one's for hydrogen. So if we go... Come on. There we go. Put this off here. We'll do like a... Ugh. Alright, not pretty, but whatever. Put storage tanks here just to catch the overflow. Or right on the border of the geographical lines. That's why it's getting all weird like that. And then for the graphite, we'll put you here into an overflow crate. So basically this setup could create a pretty sustainable amount of just thermal fuel, which is not something I thought about, but that might be a good solution to our power crisis in the short term until we get Dyson Swarm up and running. But the way it works is it feeds the output from a couple of these refineries that are going through with the X-ray cracking, and it basically funnels the hydrogen in a loop and uses it to keep processing, and it spits out graphite and extra hydrogen. And so once it's set up like this, it just goes. As long as it doesn't run out of crude oil, it just goes and keeps spitting out stuff. And the neat thing about this particular modular blueprint, I might need to make a little space here. You can take it, and let's make sure we don't miss here. And you can just daisy chain a bunch of them together, and then it just increases the output by a factor of however many you're adding. Now I've put myself in kind of a bind here because I can't I can't go further to the side, so I'd have to stagger them. But once this thing gets up and running, which should be connected, right? Yep. Once it gets up and running, you basically have it just running in a cyclical pattern, spitting out hydrogen and graphite. And if you have, you know, like 8 of these modular things connected, it spits out kind of a lot. So let's see. Might have to belt it. Yeah. Oh no, can't even fit it up here. Not ideal. Not ideal. I may have to run like an auxiliary line all the way around and put some more out here, but for now, it's not spitting stuff out at a super high rate because we only have 2. But in my old save, before I tore it down for a better solution later, I had like 10 of these all going, and it spits out a lot. Problem is, it puts a decent strain on your power, which is the whole point of why we're doing this. It'll be fine. We can use this to basically spit out some additional fuel that we can burn. That's what this whole setup's for. It's just for creating fuel to burn. Maybe we go this way and put a line of thermals and connect some to this. In fact, we'll do that to start, and we'll see if it makes an impact. Kind of thought I was done with thermal for the moment, but it doesn't look like it. We're still going to need some just to keep our entire base up and running till we can get the Dyson Swarm. That'll help a lot. And how fast are we burning? Kind of even. Depending, yeah, I think we're running a surplus over here. For this one I don't think we're going to be able to do that. Let's find out. How fast is hydrogen burning compared to graphite? Oh, it burns slower. A little bit. It might actually be a better solution. Conversion rate 80% versus... yeah, same. Okay. So if this isn't burning at a super fast rate compared to the other one, if I can get more of these things going here, could probably fit another few more lines of thermals off of just the hydrogen alone. This drops us closer to around 50, but as soon as we turn on the science research, it's going to kick up a lot. Like, let's run a test. We just got yellow, right? We just got yellow research. So let's grab core upgrade and see, with everything going, how much that kicks the consumption. Keeps us under 75%. So this solution here doesn't really stopgap much, but before, and it might go up to once all the facilities are fired. Let's go look at it. What happened here? We ran out of something. Oh. Did we run out of titanium? We ran out of titanium. Yep. I was kind of hoping to see more. And that's because we didn't set up drones to populate the bus for titanium. Great. Which is here? I think it's here. Let's double check before I stock the wrong side. Yeah, okay. So we'll set up logistics bots, have them fly over more, and we're going to have to go get some from our other site. Okay, request. And just like before, our overflow is going to send this. And I just need to run power. Okay. So now we should have no issue for the moment with titanium, but we'll have to go grab more and keep the overflow stock. Same with silicon. I think silicon's out again. Yep. Can't wait till we get interstellar logistics. It's gonna be so nice. But we're a ways from that. We might have actually burned all of our titanium before we could really get. No, we got some overflow here. Okay. So let's see. We got mecha core. That's pretty handy. Inventory capacity. Very welcome. I'm looking at the list of upgrades. Pretty much this entire line we're going to need to grab, including faster speed in space. Getting close to warp technology. That's going to be fun once we get there. We can increase the effectiveness of all of our logistics tech. This is speed of all of our logistics, bots, drones, and etc. Carrier capacity, how much they can traffic to and from, also pretty nice. So +1 to bots, +5 to drones. There we go. Okay. So probably I may do some more tinkering offline before the next session. I usually stream this every week on Thursdays, which should be go for next week. I think. Remember my schedule is next week, but I may tinker around with this playthrough a bit and add some stuff offline. If anything, maybe try and bolster the power grid some. But we're making progress. Today we didn't really expand a whole lot, but we started getting some important tech and we got to a new level of science. That's pretty significant. Our next target is going to be moving towards Dyson Swarm, and then purple science is going to be the next one up here. Information matrix. Purple, then green. But we've got some stuff that we need to centralize before we can get the Dyson Swarm underway. That'll be fun to kind of show off so people can see it. Once you start doing that and sending stuff into space, that's also going to draw aggro, and we're going to have to start dealing with more attacks from the dark fog. For now, we got them to leave us alone again, but they'll be back. And if you look at the hive, they're still building. Slowly, their squadrons are getting built out. Comic says progress is good. I'm assuming good. Yep, slowly but surely. We're getting there. Eventually, once we start moving into the more advanced tech, our progress, I think, will be much faster. But I think we're at a good pace. Maybe next time I can show off my offline save. That one should have the Dyson Sphere up, which would be kind of cool to show. I think I showed that on my other playthrough. But we will go ahead and call that a stream. Let me see who's online that we can go raid. Let's see. Oh. I see Mycelia Corpus is online, fellow VTuber peer, and she's playing Final Fantasy 3, huh? Okay. The original 3. Not the FF3 that the West got, which was 6. We can go spread some good vibes over there. Let me get this queued up. And what we'll do is we'll pause BGM, mute this, and we'll go to outro. And yeah, again, good progress. This is a game I really like talking about, so hopefully it was interesting seeing the tech progression. Thanks to everyone who came and hung out today. Hope everyone has a good evening. We'll be back on Saturday this weekend, and we'll be playing Monster Hunter. We'll be getting back to Monster Hunter, and I might be setting up a community thing so you folks can vote on weapons that you want me to use too, which would be fun. But in the meantime, again, have a good one, and let's go see what Mycelia is up to.